Good day, everybody. Rebecca here for another working on projects around the house video. This intro is going to be the last little bit of procrastination I do before I actually get started with this. I'm going to try to trim back some of these smaller birch trees that y'all see by the shoreline down by the lake. Truth be told, I did get started, well, not down there yesterday, but I did do a little bit of work yesterday. So over on this side of the house is how we get down to the water. There's a small trail that runs along the woods behind all of these birch trees. And last year, Christopher did some clearing out through the woods there and stacked up a whole bunch of birch trees. And yesterday, truth be told, we went down to town and got a bunch of things. One, I bought myself a bike. So just to forewarn you, the budget for this month is going to be pretty high on the spending. I got a bike, a kickstand, a helmet, all the things. I haven't ridden a bike since I was a little girl, but honestly, getting a bike for Sweden once I moved here was on my list of things to do for me. Some of the bigger purchases that I had in mind to do. So since we were in town yesterday, I got a bike. We also bought some paint supplies to get ready for the inside of the house once it gets too cold to really work outside. Then we're going to start working on some of the inside projects around the house. So we got paint supplies. We also ran by the grocery store. We just kind of made a day of it yesterday shopping. However, when we got back, I did decide to try to get some of those birch trees trimmed. But honestly, when I started to walk the trail down to the water, I saw how many small, teeny tiny little birch saplings had started coming back up where Christopher had already trimmed. I mean, most of them were already growing up from stumps that he had left in the ground from last year. So I tell you, these birch trees are pretty prolific and they're going to keep us busy just trying to keep the areas that we want to maintain as trails clear. So once we got back yesterday, I thought I was going to go down to the water there and cut just a few of the birch trees down. I didn't. I ended up just working on the trail down to the water, but I'm happy to say that I did clear out the trail. And y'all, I actually kept count. Well, until about 300, and then I stopped counting. But after 300 birch trees, little saplings that I chopped down, yeah, I quit counting after that, and I was about halfway done with the trail. So I would say all in all last night, I spent a good couple hours and cut down 500 to 600 of those birch saplings along the trail to the water. So, you know, not bad for a couple hours of work, honestly. I will say when Christopher worked over there last year, he had bigger trees to deal with, and he actually did stack them up into nice piles and everything over there. I just left the little ones that I cut where they lay because honestly, they're going to die. And I mean, they're the size of small sticks now. So that's not going to be any big deal. But I was glad to get that part done because that means today I am free to actually go down to the water line there and start cutting down some of these larger birch trees that have come up over the last few years. And the reason why I want to do the water line first is not only because of the view, it's because the tractor that we have, once we do get our bush hog / slog hack running with the tractor, once you get close to the water down there, it gets too wet and too muddy for the tractor to really go safely. So some of this stuff we have to do by hand anyway. And if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and try to start doing some of that today. So here's how it looks from here right now. And once I get through working down there, I'm going to go as long as I can, as much as I have energy for. I'll come back to this spot. I'm sitting at the house now and we'll look again and see if we notice any kind of difference. Really, I don't think we're going to be able to tell because the trees that are closest to us are the ones blocking the view, of course, but the ones closest to us are hopefully going to be some of the trees that Christopher can get with the bush hog whenever the tractor is up and running. So, but for what it's worth, we'll take a look when I get through, and I'll do some footage down there too, but so y'all can see how it looks. But really, I mean, this is not going to be the most exciting video ever. I am just doing some manual labor myself and cutting down some of these birch saplings. So let's see if I'm able to make any kind of dent or not. Okay, so I am down next to the water. You can barely see the roof of the house up there. Here's the larger birch trees that y'all can see from the back deck. You can see our sauna or root cellar through there. So down here in this area where I am is where we start to get pretty close to the water. Christopher has already been down here working. You can see the reed grass through those tiny little birch saplings there. Christopher's been down here already a lot and done a lot of cutting some of these larger birch trees that are going to be too big for my little lopping shears to handle. So I'm going to start working on the smaller stuff where I can, and that is what I am hoping will make a big difference. The small trees that you see from the house are these up here, but honestly I feel like once we get the bush hog up and running, that hopefully it'll be able to reach those and handle those. So even though I'm going to be doing a lot of work down here cutting down the smaller trees that are closer to the water, I don't know that we're going to see a big difference from the house, but still, we'll take an after picture whenever I get done for the day here, when I just get too tired to go on, and we'll see what I'm able to get cut down. Wow. Okay, well, I have done all I can do for today. I have maxed out. My hands are shaky. Back hurts. Thank God I put dinner in the crock pot this morning. I am being attacked by mosquitoes, and I have been attacked by ants twice now. Also flies. Yeah, well, I was expecting as much working down here in the marshy part of the property, but hopefully y'all can tell some kind of difference here, because oh my God, there has been a lot of effort. Flip the camera around just because it's easier to see this way, and I will try to get a little bit of drone footage of the afterwards too. Christopher just recently came down here to help me out a little bit, so he's working over there. But yeah, I mean, just look at all the carnage. I mean, clearly I have done a lot. Hopefully it comes through in the video as well. All right, so I am back up at the house in the same spot that I was sitting this morning when I got started with this project today. I am still exhausted, still a little bit shaky, but can we tell any difference? I don't think so, looking from up here, but honestly, that's kind of what I was expecting. I was mainly working on this side, but all of those smaller birch trees closer to us are the ones that the tractor should be able to handle, and I think once those are gone, it should improve the view somewhat. Maybe there's slightly a little bit of difference right there. But yeah, it's hard to tell from this side of the property, which kind of sucks because I have spent hours cutting down trees. I probably cut down 1,000 trees, if not more, and I am exhausted. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in finish dinner, and chill out for the rest of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed. There will clearly be like a part 2, probably 3, 4, and 5 as well, as far as getting all of this land cleared off. But we're making slow but steady progress.